Here is something that surprises most people when they actually look at the map. North Georgia is not remote. It is not cut off from the economy. It is 30 to 45 minutes from Chattanooga, an hour from Atlanta, and full of towns. Mill towns, mountain towns, river towns, county seats, where you can still walk through the door of an actual house for under $150,000. 12 of those houses are what we are covering today. The range on this list runs from a nearly finished remodel with a story attached to it that you genuinely will not find on any other list, all the way to a foreclosure auction with a number on it that looks like a steal, until you understand what that number actually represents. Every single one of these has a price. Every single one has a catch, and the job of this video is to give you both. At the time this was put together, all 12 were listed and available. Real estate moves fast in North Georgia at this price point right now. 2 of the houses on this list were already under contract by the time the research was done. That tells you something worth paying attention to. Let's go. House number 12, Bowersville, Georgia, $130,000. We are starting in Bowersville, Hart County, Northeast Georgia, and the first number that matters on this property is not the asking price. It is $159. That is the annual property tax bill, not per month, per year. While you are evaluating this place, while you are running the numbers, while you're deciding what your exit looks like, your carrying cost on taxes alone is less than $14 a month. What you are carrying is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath cottage sitting on just over half an acre, built around 1935, 608 square feet, and that is small, and you should know going in that it is small. But the structure has been described as having solid bones and the kind of craftsmanship that survives precisely because the materials were built to last. The lot includes a detached carport, a parking shed, and enough room for RV or boat storage. In rural Hart County, that yard utility is more valuable than it sounds. The honest read on Bowersville is that this is not a high-margin flip and it is not a high cash flow rental. The square footage limits both. What this property is, for the right buyer, is a low-cost entry into Northeast Georgia with almost no holding risk while you figure out your plan. Athens is roughly an hour away. Atlanta is considerably farther. This is a personal project, a long-hold land buy, or a small cabin conversion for someone who understands this part of the state and sees the value in minimal overhead while the market continues to move. House number 11, Rome, Georgia, $109,000. Rome, Georgia, Floyd County, about an hour and 15 minutes from Atlanta, roughly the same distance from Chattanooga. Rome is the economic center of Northwest Georgia. Hospitals, schools, a real manufacturing and commercial employment base, and a residential market consistent enough that a 3-bedroom at this price was already under contract by the time the list was assembled. Asbury Drive Northwest, built in 1963, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 714 square feet on just under 4/10 of an acre. The garage is included, central heat and air is working. There's a covered front porch. The one quirk in the layout is that the 3rd bedroom reportedly houses the laundry connections, which is a functional trade-off that affects how you describe the space to any future tenant, and worth factoring into your walkthrough. 714 square feet is modest by any measure, but in a city with real employment driving real rental demand, the specific square footage matters less than the price and the location. $109,000 for a 3-bedroom with a garage and functioning HVAC in Rome does not sit long, and the contract status confirms that. If this one comes back available, you already know the market context. Drive the block first. Rome is a city where the specific street matters as much as the city name. We put this on the list because we have seen properties where the contract falls through and just thought this has potential just in case. 2 houses in, 2 completely different properties, one already under contract. The market in North Georgia is telling you something. The next one has more structures than you are expecting for the price. House number 10, Lindale, Georgia, $100,000. 3.13 acres, 2 structures, $100,000. That is the sentence that makes this property a different kind of conversation than anything else we have covered so far. The front house is a 4-bedroom, 1-bath, built in 1945. It needs significant repair work, and that phrasing is being taken at face value, not softened. Behind it sits a 3-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home from the early 2000s that needs a complete interior remodel. The property also includes a large garage and storage building, plus a separate outbuilding. You are looking at 2 potential income units, covered storage, and over 3 acres in a Floyd County zip code for $100,000 total. The play here is not about which structure is ready. Neither one is. The play is what it costs to bring both online versus what 2 separate rental units on 3+ acres generates in a market about an hour and 20 minutes from Atlanta. If the main house stabilizes for $20,000 to $30,000 and the mobile home refreshes for $15,000 to $20,000, you are all in somewhere between $135,000 and $150,000 with 2 rentable units and usable land. That math is genuinely different from a single-family purchase. The complexity is real, so is the potential arithmetic. House number 9, Kingston, Georgia, $150,000. Kingston, Bartow County, West Main Street, which is not a suburban side street, it is a downtown address, on nearly a full acre of land with a red metal roof, a covered front porch, and a back deck. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, just over 1,000 square feet, built in 1940. The listing is transparent about what it needs: interior modernization, new windows, landscaping upgrades. Those are the right categories. That description points to a house that is cosmetically and envelope tired, not structurally alarming. A buyer who knows their contractor and stays disciplined on scope could bring this one current for somewhere in the $15,000 to $25,000 range, depending on what the inspection turns up in the walls. The red metal roof is a baseline worth noting. That is an exterior component that tells you someone invested in this property at some point and did not leave it completely to deteriorate. Atlanta is about 50 miles and an hour by car from Kingston. Bartow County has been drawing consistent interest from buyers who want small-town character within range of the Atlanta metro. A downtown lot near a full acre in that county at this price carries resale flexibility that rural properties typically do not. And this one, like the Rome house earlier, was already under contract. 2 under contracts in 4 houses. The North Georgia market at this price point is moving.
Again, until it is sold, we feel as though this should go on the list. Contracts are known to fall through more often than not. 4 down, 2 already spoken for. We're about to move into the properties with actual personality, houses where the location, story, and the architecture start to do real work in the deal. House number 8, Somerville, Georgia, $149,500. There is a detail about this house on Knox Street in Somerville that has nothing to do with the square footage or the bedroom count, and it is the detail that makes this listing stand apart from anything else on this list. Directly across the street sits Paradise Garden, the visionary folk art environment built by the Reverend Howard Finster. If that name is not immediately familiar, Finster was one of America's most recognized outsider artists. Album covers, museum collections, a body of work with a cultural footprint that extends well beyond Georgia. Paradise Garden is not a generic local landmark. It is a specific, recognized place with a documented story. A house across the street from it carries a location identity that renovations cannot manufacture. The house itself is 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1,280 square feet on just under half an acre, built in 1946, and unlike most of the properties on this list, it has been finished, completely remodeled interior. All new flooring, new HVAC system, stainless appliances. You are not buying a project here. You are buying a done house at a price that reflects the market, not the renovation cost. At $149,500 with a new HVAC and a complete interior, the buyer math is straightforward. Is this the finished product you want to own in this town, across from this landmark, at this price? Chattanooga is under an hour away. The hold and primary residence case is clear. The The flip potential is thinner in a small town at this price. You would need strong comps before going in on that. But for the right buyer, the combination of done product and distinctive location makes this one of the cleaner decisions on the list. House number 7, Somerville, Georgia, $99,900. Before you think you already know this one, stop. Same city, yes, but House 7 is a completely different math problem than what you just saw, and the reason is a $50,000 price drop that changes everything about the entry calculation. Where Knox Street is a finished product at $149, Scoggins Street is asking $99,900 after that cut, and it comes with something that genuinely makes you wonder. All contents included, sold as is. Everything inside that house transfers with the property. That detail can go either way. It can mean a quick move seller who left behind things of actual value. It can mean a cleanup project. Walking through it tells you which story you are in. What the property does offer on paper: 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, a fireplace, a fenced yard, a garage, a storage area, and a separate outbuilding. The lot figure needs a conversation with the county. The summary shows roughly 1/3 of an acre, but the listing references a double lot totaling over 8/10 of an acre. That is a significant discrepancy, and it gets resolved before you write anything. Somerville sits about 57 minutes from Chattanooga. The crime picture here is mixed depending on your source, not a red flag market, but one where you do the block-level research before you commit. At under $100,000 with a garage, a fireplace, an outbuilding, and a potentially larger lot than the summary suggests, the cost to investigate is low, and the potential upside on the land alone is worth understanding clearly. Halfway through, same city, 2 completely different approaches to a deal. Now we shift into the properties where the land gets bigger, the square footage grows, and the older construction starts to tell a different kind of story.
House number 6, Trion, Georgia, $125,000. Trion, Chattooga County. And the first thing worth saying about Trion is the safety picture, because it is one of the quieter crime profiles on this entire list. Violent crime significantly below Georgia averages, property crime also running well below state norms. In a region where multiple towns carry elevated numbers, Trion stands apart. That matters when you are evaluating who will rent from you and whether the neighborhood supports your planned exit. Cummings Road brings 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and 1.5 acres of land, built around 1950. The detail that reshapes the rehab math here is the floors. Roughly 75% of the house has original hardwood throughout. Hardwood you are restoring costs a fraction of hardwood you are replacing. If the condition holds under inspection, that is a meaningful line item in your favor before the estimate even begins. The covered porch, the family room, and the dedicated laundry space are features that translate directly into livability and rental appeal. The square footage on this one is a number you confirm before you make the drive. It was not available in any of the sources consulted. At $125,000, with 1.5 acres, strong local safety metrics, 3 bedrooms, and about 40 miles to Chattanooga, Trion is the kind of quietly solid opportunity that tends to go unnoticed because the town does not carry a recognizable name. That is often exactly where the better deals are. Real quick, we are halfway through 12 houses, and we haven't even touched the $5,000 property yet. If you are getting an honest look at this market that you are not finding anywhere else, hit the like button right now. It tells the algorithm this kind of research is worth showing to more people, and it is how we build part 2. All right, back to it. 6 houses down. We have done the rural land play, the multi-structure deal, 2 completely different Somerville properties, and a quietly overlooked Chattooga County buy. Now we move into the stretch where city proximity starts to change the math, and the properties start getting more interesting fast. House number 5, Lafayette, Georgia, $149,900. Lafayette, Walker County, and at roughly 27 miles from Chattanooga, this is the closest property to a major metro on this entire list. The safety picture in Lafayette is also one of the strongest in the batch. Crime running about 31% below the national average by one measure. City proximity and lower crime in the same small market. That is not a combination you find at this price point in Georgia very often. Magnolia Street is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house on just under half an acre. 1,776 square feet. built in 1922. The description does not read like a neglected house. Updated flooring, a 2-car carport, public water and sewer, no HOA, and what is described as a quiet, established neighborhood. The age still triggers the full inspection checklist: roof, electrical, plumbing, HVAC. But the framing here is a house that has been cared for, not a house that has been waiting for someone to rescue it. 4 bedrooms in a safer-than-average small city less than 30 minutes from Chattanooga is a specific product for a specific tenant. Families who want more space and lower cost than Chattanooga can offer are exactly the profile Magnolia Street attracts. The rental hold case here is more straightforward than the flip case. You would need strong local comps before approaching this one as a short-term flip. But as a long-hold rental or a primary residence purchase, the combination of proximity, safety, and size at this price is difficult to replicate.
3 houses left. We have covered the whole range of this market. Quiet towns, city edges, done products, raw projects, land plays, and structure deals. Now we get to the final 3. And the last one is going to require some explanation because the number on it will not mean what you think it means. House number 4, Dalton, Georgia, $150,000. Dalton, Georgia, Whitfield County. The carpet capital of the world is not just a road sign, it is an economic identity. Dalton is a real manufacturing and industrial hub. Real employment, real population density, real rental demand from workers who need housing close to where the jobs are. If you were buying here with the intention of finding a tenant, you are not guessing at whether demand exists. You know it does. Mark Brown Road Northeast is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath on just under 9/10 of an acre. Built in 1988, which is a notably more recent vintage than most of what appears on this list, and that matters. A 1988 build means systems from a different era than the older construction we have been looking at all video. The electrical, the plumbing, the structural components are all from a period that sidesteps a significant portion of the older house risk. Fireplace, central HVAC, the bones are a different conversation. The specific detail that gives this property its angle, brand new flooring for the entire house, has already been purchased and is staged in the garage waiting to be installed. A real cost has already been absorbed. That is either a seller who ran out of time on a project or someone communicating that the heavy lifting has begun. Either way, a buyer who walks in and finishes the job has a shorter path to market ready than a cold project house requires. At $150,000 with materials on site in Chattanooga 37 minutes away, this is the kind of property that rewards the buyer who shows up ready to finish. House number 3, Dalton, Georgia, $100,000. Same city, $50,000 less, and a completely different logic, because on Bogle Street in Dalton, you are not buying a house, you are buying 3 structures. The main house is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, built in 1958, just over 1,000 square feet. It needs major repairs, and that description is being taken at face value here. There is also a carport structure needing work, and then there is the 3rd building, which has its own bathroom, its own kitchen, and a documented history as a working barbershop. That is the piece of this that changes the math. A detached structure with a kitchen and a bathroom is not storage. In the right zoning context, with the right permitting conversation, it is a second income unit. It is a short-term rental. It is a studio, a workspace, or a commercial re-entry. The lot itself is about 6,500 square feet, so you are not buying land, you are buying utility. 3 structures with income potential in a Whitfield County industrial city with real employment, and Chattanooga 37 minutes away. The permitting conversation on the 3rd structure and the inspection conversation on the main house both happen before you write an offer. Neither one gets skipped. House number 2, Rome, Georgia, $145,000. We are staying in Rome, same city as House 11, but Avenue D Northwest is a different address, a different era, and a different kind of investment conversation. This house was built in 1915.
That is 111 years old. It is 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1,364 square feet on a lot just under a quarter acre. And the asking price is $145,000, which is almost exactly what the Zestimate puts it at. There is no screaming discount here. The price is the price because the house is what it is. Old construction, real bones, work required. A 1915 build in Floyd County means you are asking the same inspection questions you ask on any house of this age: foundation, framing, electrical, plumbing, roof, but you are asking them in a market with real infrastructure behind it. Rome has hospitals, Rome has schools, Rome has a working commercial base and a tenant pool that exists because people actually need to live near those things. That changes what a renovated 3-bedroom can command here versus a comparably priced house sitting in a rural county with nothing anchoring the rental demand. Comparable renovated 3-bedrooms in this part of Rome are renting in the $900 to $1,100 range. That math works if the rehab is controlled. A thorough renovation on a house this size and this age, electrical, plumbing, roof, cosmetics, budget somewhere in the $25,000 to $40,000 range, and let the inspection tell you where you actually land. The flip case in Rome is real, but it is block by block. Avenue D Northwest is West Rome, and in West Rome, the specific street you are on determines whether the exit math works or whether you are over-improving for the neighborhood. Drive it. Drive it more than once. Walk the block on a weekday and on a weekend. The house at 145 with a controlled rehab can pencil out as either a rental hold or a flip, but only if the street supports the finished product value. That is the same homework you do on any Rome property at this price, and it does not get skipped on a house built in 1915 any more than it gets skipped on a house built in 1963. 2 Rome properties, one under $110,000 and one at $145,000. Same city, different eras, different math. Now we get to the last one on this list, and it is the one that requires the most explanation before you form an opinion about it. And here we are, house number 1, the listing that generated more questions than any other property on this list. The number on it looks impossible, and there is a very specific reason for that. House number 1, Marietta, Georgia, $5,000 opening bid. Let's be completely clear about what this is. The number on the listing says $5,000. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, over 2,600 square feet on Wood Glen Lane Southeast in Marietta, Cobb County, Georgia, 28 minutes from Atlanta. $5,000. That is the opening bid on a foreclosure auction. Not the price, not the closing figure, not the deal. It is the number the bidding starts at, and it is designed to do exactly what it is doing right now, which is making you stop and pay attention. The Zestimate on this property is running around $463,000. That is Zillow's calculation of market value for a renovated 4-bedroom in this specific Cobb County location. Foreclosure auctions in Marietta, 28 minutes from Atlanta, in one of the more active suburban markets in the Southeast, do not close anywhere near opening bid on $400,000 homes. The buyers who register for auctions like this are experienced, well-capitalized, and they have already done the title research, the lien research, the tax history, and the condition analysis before they show up. This property is number 1 on this list because it is the most important lesson the list can teach. The number that looks too good to be true is not a deal. It is a starting position in a competitive process designed for buyers who already know what they are doing. If you are watching this video looking for a 4-bedroom in Marietta for $5,000, the auction is going to educate you quickly and expensively about the difference between an opening bid and a purchase price. Do the research first, understand the platform, pull the title and lien history, look at what comparable foreclosure auctions in Cobb County have actually closed for, and then decide whether you are positioned to compete, because the buyers who win these auctions are not running on excitement, they are running on preparation. 12 houses, all of them in North Georgia, all of them under $150,000 on paper. And each one a different lesson about what that number actually represents.
Tell me in the comments which of these 12 you would seriously look at with $30,000 to $40,000 for repairs. Put the number and give me your logic. And if you want part 2, more North Georgia, a few different markets, maybe a higher ceiling, subscribe and let me know. We're doing more of this.